Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas G. As Delhi received heavy rainfall, the roof of the new Parliament building had water dripping in the lobby. Opposition leaders saw in it another opportunity to target the government, and several India bloc leaders have posted a video of the new Parliament building showing the rainwater leaking inside the hall in the complex and a bucket kept to collect it. Congress Member of Parliament Manikam Tagore has moved an adjournment motion in the Lok Sabha to demand a discussion on the water leak. He also sought a thorough inspection of the new Parliament structure. Taking a dig at the government, he said that while there was paper leak outside, water leak was being seen inside the Parliament. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav also took a swipe at the Modi government and said that the old Parliament was better than the new one. Other opposition leaders also jumped on the bandwagon and questioned the durability of the new Parliament building.
There was paper leakage yesterday, earlier. Then there was Ram Mandir leakage. Then now it is Temple of Democracy leakage. In Parliament yesterday, heavy rains was there. Therefore, I had moved an adjournment motion today because this is a very serious issue. Therefore, I had moved an adjournment motion. Hope the Honorable Speaker accepts it and we have a discussion, find solutions to it.
संसद लीक हो गई है, बाहर पेपर लीक होता है, अंदर संसद लीक होती है, हर जगह लीक हो रहा है. मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. हर जगह लीक, हर जगह लीकेज, हर जगह रिश्वतखोरी.
It's not a parliament, it's an edifice to Narendra Modi ji's ego. So since he is anyway got the people of India have shown him a lesson, it is only natural that as a natural consequence of that even the parliament's lobby will leak. और ये parliament तो हमने कहा था, ये तो parliament है ही नहीं, ये तो it's an edifice to Narendra Modi's ego. And since his ego has taken such a hit in these elections, it's only natural that water will leak from here.
Now, it's not the first time that the opposition has attacked the government over the new Parliament building. In 2021, during COVID-19, Rahul Gandhi had slammed the Central Vista project and questioned the money spent on it. He said that the Prime Minister's ego is bigger than people's lives. In July 2022, after the PM unveiled the national emblem on top of the under-construction Parliament building, opposition parties have alleged that lions appeared to be aggressive. In 2023, after PM Modi had personally inspected the new Parliament building before its inauguration, Congress party's Jairam Ramesh called it a vanity project of a dictator. In May 2023, 20 opposition parties had boycotted the inauguration of the new Parliament building. The question therefore is leak just an excuse and opposition's aim only to find fault one after another in the new Parliament building?
कुछ लोगों का मानसिक संतुलन लीक कर गया है. अब अगर कुछ लोगों का मानसिक संतुलन लीक कर जाए तो इसका इलाज तो कोई मानसिक चिकित्सक ही कर सकता है. अब इनकी दिक्कत क्या हुई है कि पेपर लीक पे कार्रवाई हुई, उसके लिए आपके शोर मचाने से नहीं हुई. जैसे ही सरकार के संज्ञान में आया कार्रवाई की गई और जहां पर भी जिन जगहों पर भी इसके सरगना लोग हैं उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई हो रही है. अब आप लोगों की आदत हो गई है कि हर फेक एंड फैब्रिकेटेड किस्से कहानी गढ़ करके और जो है वो हाहाकार और हंगामा और हुड़दंग करो, तो इसे कहते हैं कि मुद्दों की कंगाली.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Listening across to our guest, Tuhin Sira is national spokesperson of the BJP, Pattabhiram Komareddy is national spokesperson of the TDP, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, joins us in the studio. Faizan Kidwai, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Dr. Shantanu Sen, national spokesperson of the TMC, is joining us. Tehseen, let me start with you. You know, since this controversy has broken out, there have been adjournment motions, there have been suggestions to move it to back to the old building, so on and so forth. This is what the Lok Sabha Secretariat is saying. They're saying that keeping in view the concept of green parliament, glass domes have been provided in several parts of the building, including the lobby, so that abundant natural light could be utilized in day-to-day work of Parliament. During the heavy rain on Wednesday, the adhesive material used to fix the glass dome over the lobby of the building was slightly displaced, causing minor leakage of water in the lobby. Are we making too much of a big deal of what's pretty much happened and explained here due to the heavy rain that Delhi has experienced?
This is not the leakage in Parliament, but this LLB government, and why do I say this government has mastered LLB? It's a leaking, lying, breaking government. has totally leaked the entire infrastructure of this country. They build a tunnel in Uttarakhand that goes under the ground. The airport from which we take off over the ground has been broken. The temple of democracy is leaking. The Sri Ram's Mandir, there's a leakage. The fact is they can't even keep papers from leaking. It is actually their arrogance which is leaking. It is their arrogance which is leaking, and therefore they put media people behind jails because they didn't want media people to cover it. Now the question is, was media put behind jail because all these things would have been exposed and behind not allowed to cover live, not allowed to live stream from Parliament from their mobile phones, because all of these flaws would have come out. What was the opposition saying? Opposition was saying that the Parliament is not yet complete. Even now, there is no parking in Parliament. Green Parliament. Green Parliament says this piece of paper you have. Where is the parking in Parliament? That's green. That is green. The first thing in Parliament is green. They don't have. You know it and I know it. Now let's come to the fundamental issue. The fundamental issue is, like everything, this was a vanity project done when people of India were paying GST on oxygen, and I have paid by check GST on oxygen. They were building a vanity structure. They were buying new planes. And this is that has come back to hit the government.
Okay, let me bring in Tuhin on that note. Tuhin, it's a vanity project. It's something that's been stated before, but there's one point being made over here, that this is symbolic of, various infrastructural problems. The Parliament, of course, is a symbol of, the entire nation, and any leak over here, and they're, of course, referring to other issues, airports, etc., which have been found wanting, and it raises a serious question on the weather resilience of the new Parliament structure. Tuhin.
Well, good evening, Madhav. Good evening, everybody. Since the opposition is enamored with the word leakage today, let me remind them that the only leakage government this country has seen is the Congress government, as confessed by former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. जब 1 रुपये खर्च करते हैं तो 15 पैसे मिलते हैं. Anyway, the point is, there was a minor leakage which was immediately addressed. Now, I am surprised at the bankruptcy of this, mental and the intellectual bankruptcy of this opposition. 300 lives have been lost in Wayanad. 10 people have died in Delhi in the last few days, and a rape involving a Samajwadi Party leader has taken place, a gang rape in Ayodhya. But they won't comment on that. They are obsessed with a leakage which was immediately addressed. Do they not recall the 2010 leakage in Parliament where, the entire floor of the House was submerged? In 2018, their leader Shashi Tharoor, after visiting Kuala Lumpur and, visiting the Malaysian Parliament, had praised it lavishly, saying we urgently need a new Parliament because this Parliament is crammed. We don't even have the space to stand up. And we constructed a Parliament in record time, in less than 3 years, at the least budget, 971 crores. Do you know the budget for Maharashtra, revamping the Maharashtra MLA hostel sanctioned by Uddhav Thackeray? It was 127 crore at the same time, and that, reconstruction has not taken place yet. So this opposition has a problem with any project of national pride which has been executed without an iota of corruption. That is the problem. They have a servile, they have a slavish mindset. People like Akhilesh Yadav, who are praising the old Parliament today, does he even recall the 2010 CWG game when the, 1 week before the game started, the entire Siri Fort Stadium was flooded? They have a problem with, anything good happening in the country, and they have demonstrated that today.
Let me bring that. No, I want to bring in the Samajwadi Party spokesperson because he's referred to it. Faizan Kidwai, you've forgotten what has happened, for instance, in one rain in the national capital, the CWG Games Village, several stadia, etc., were flooded at that point of time. And what is this obsession with colonial symbols and the colonial mentality? That's a question coming in from the BJP. Why even come out? I mean, new Parliament is built. Of course, there's been a leak, there's no doubt. But the BJP is asking, why suggest even to go back to the old building?
See, first of all, since Tuhin made a reference on Samajwadi Party and the kind of work we have done, I just want to tell you, Tuhin, we made a world-class stadium in Lucknow, the Ekana Stadium, which hosts international cricket matches. And this has increased the pride of Uttar Pradesh, first of all. And you should also know the kind of work Akhilesh Yadav ji did for the increasing the electricity in Uttar Pradesh is much more that Yogi Adityanath can even dream of. So kindly read the data. As far as Tuhin is concerned, I just want to say Bharatiya Janata Party, which was like people used to call it Bharat Jalao Party, has now become Bharat Dubao Party. जिन लोगों को जला के मार नहीं पाए वो सबको डुबा के मारे दे रहे हैं.
Let's be reasonable, please. Let's be reasonable. You start making allegations of them burning people, they will accuse you. One second. Faizan, please. I have no problem with you opposing the ruling party or any other political party, but let's be a little civil in our discourse. The minute you start using aggressive language, they will start doing the same. The debate will degenerate into tu main. Let's avoid that. Let's please avoid that. Let's please avoid that. My request to you, please.
I'll do that. But what I meant was they are infusing hateful religious venom inside the people. That's what I said. Fair. I won't repeat that. As far as the new parliament is concerned, see exactly why the problem has happened, because there were good experts, there were architects who were working, and there was an individual, I saw his photograph. He was instructing the architects. Here's the gentleman. Yeah. It's Mr. Modi, none other than Mr. Modi. So maybe he misled people into making certain changes, and because of this, the parliament is leaking. It's so unfortunate, Madhav. This is not only happening in the parliament, it is happening in Uttar Pradesh also. There's waterlogging outside Uttar Pradesh Assembly. Yogi Adityanath had to be escorted out. And this is a failure of the municipal corporation in Lucknow, which is headed by Bharatiya Janata Party. I would like the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, Tuhin, to kindly tell us what action they are going to take against the municipal commissioner here. Second, there's a hospital, Madhav, a woman hospital here. Water, there's been drainage water has come inside. It has totally made the situation very bad there, and the treatment is not possible unless the water finally subsides. So apart from the deteriorating law and order situation, the health sector and everything in Uttar Pradesh is suffering.
Okay. Okay. I will just request everyone. We are discussing the new parliament building. Let's try and stick to that topic. I have no issues with anyone raising any kind of problem, but everything and anything cannot be part of this debate. And in the spirit of the question that you have asked, Faizan, I'm going to put a simple question across to Tuhin Sinha. 2 points that he's making: the Prime Minister was leading the construction, was seen, photographed with the workers and engineers, so on and so forth. So therefore, he's saying that there's, of course, some amount of responsibility that should be taken by the centre. And also the question, let me put his question slightly differently. When we saw what happened in the Rampath, those huge gaping holes in terms of the violations of the construction, we saw the Yogi Adityanath government taking action. I think there were 6 engineers who were suspended at that point of time. How will the accountability be fixed is the question coming from Samajwadi Party.
Madhav, when was this parliament approved? It was in 2012. So if it has, been constructed in record time, the credit goes to Prime Minister Modi because he led from the front. And like I mentioned, you just need to revisit the tweet of Shashi Tharoor where he's cribbing about the old parliament. Today they have all praises. If there is one instance of leaking, I am sure by now it would have been fixed, and the officials responsible for that action will be taken against them. But the larger priorities, I think the larger issue over here is that, 300 people dying in Wayanad, that does not concern this opposition. On the day when the Wayanad landslide had begun, a person who aspires to lead the country, instead of involving himself in climate action, was obsessed with halwa politics and khatakhat politics. I think that should be the larger concern today. The amount of infrastructure creation, the amount of construction that has happened in the country, one leakage here, one leakage there, while each one is, should have been avoided. I'm sure the quantum of construction that has happened is unprecedented. And I think that needs to be appreciated. That is quality construction. I can assure you about that.
All right. So let me bring in, since you mentioned Kerala, I didn't want to bring that in, but since you've referred to it, Tehseen, Mr. Rahul Gandhi's constituency was Wayanad for 5 whole years. He won a second election from there. And at the end of the day, what Tuhin's point is that you're missing the wood for the trees. Yes, these are not desirable, but let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Please respond.
I'll come to Wayanad, but I just want to make one point, because the second time the BJP spokesperson is referred to that the parliament was made in record time. Look, there's an old saying. It's not about speed. Doing something fast is not important. Doing something correctly, where using the right technique is important. That is more satisfactory and happy in the long term, not doing something fast and quickly. So let's come to the right issue. Now the issue is Kerala. And it breaks my heart that not just politics over Kerala, but with a lot of respect, the most honorable Home Minister of this country misled Parliament today and through Parliament the country. Yes, warnings were given to Kerala. Yes, warnings were given. Now, allow me to go to the IMD website. This is the IMD website run by the union government. Warnings were given of an orange warning. not the red warning. The red warning, according to the IMD website, was given at 1:10 after the landslide happened. And what was the warning given on 23rd? Of 15 centimeters of 15 mm of rain, not centimeters.
But the orange alert did say that there is landslides possibility. Is that not
that even the Guardian committee said. But what was the rain warning?
No.
15 mm. How much rainfall fell? More than 600 mm. So look at the warning itself given on 23rd. On 23rd, it's given 15 mm. Now, when we have the most advanced systems installed by the Congress government, upgraded by the BJP government, no doubt about it. Why was this not given to Kerala when it was given to Odisha? That is the politics. And the Honorable Home Minister did not. Show me the red warning.
Since you referred to the Home Minister, I have to give a chance to Tuhin to rebut that. Tuhin, the argument coming in from even Pinarayi Vijayan in yesterday's press conference in response to the Home Minister is that, there was no red alert given. The contention there is that an orange alert is only be prepared. A red alert is an alert to take action.
There are times. No, Madhav, come on. I mean, the argument of Congress is so puerile. There are days when Mumbai is given a red alert warning, but it doesn't rain. It's like the stock market. You cannot exactly predict it. But the fact is, a warning was issued on 23rd. Was Rahul Gandhi even aware of the warning? That's the larger question. Was he even aware of the warning, or was he merely counting the castes of people at the halwa ceremony? And the landslides began on the day when he was counting people at the halwa ceremony.
In all fairness, that's not what the government said. The government said that the opposition is unnecessarily politicizing. We have given adequate warning. They did not say that it cannot be adequately. Let's be fair. This is the position taken by. This is the position taken by your government in the parliament. Now you're taking a very, very different line.
One warning went out on 24th. Madhav, there is a larger issue over here. Has Rahul Gandhi once spoken about the landslide issue? Has he once spoken about the issue of illegal encroachment in the area which has been affected by landslide? Everybody is aware of that problem in Kerala.
Well, he did make a comment today, but anyway, I'll let Tehseen respond to you. Tehseen.
What we've heard on TV and what the nation has heard by the BJP spokesperson on TV is that we don't have advanced system. The Honorable Home Minister misled Parliament. Number 2, red warnings are just given randomly like in Mumbai. And number 3, yes, a landslide happened because Rahul Gandhi did not speak in Parliament. So let's prosecute Rahul Gandhi and not the union government that actually gave a red warning. Maybe a red warning is just a joke after the landslide happened. This is what the BJP spokesperson said on TV.
Okay, let me come back.
It is shocking that he says this about 300 people who have passed away. It is shocking. Either he is misleading or the Honorable Home Minister. Let the viewers of Times Now decide.
Okay, quick response. Quick response to it, then I'll move on to other panelists. 2 panelists have not spoken.
It doesn't know anything about anything.
You said red warning was given randomly.
You asked a question, let him respond to you.
This Congress party is a construction expert. Please don't speak now. This Congress party is a construction expert. It is a weather expert, and yet it doesn't know anything that's happening in the country. That's the sad part about this Congress party.
Okay. Let's now move on to back to the topic that we were discussing. Of course, Wayanad at the end of the day is a huge tragedy. Politics around this particular matter, unfortunately, is being played, but perhaps that's far more than desirable given the fact that rescue operations are still on. In the spirit of that, let me quickly bring in 2 other panelists. And with us is Shantanu Sen, national spokesperson of the TMC. Shantanu Sen, the fact that we needed a new parliament, this is something that is beyond doubt. It was proposed by Meera Kumar through her OSD. There was a letter written to the UD secretary. There are a number of reasons given by the central government for why we need a new parliament building. One of which is that Delhi was in a different seismic zone, zone 2, at the time of construction. Now it's in zone 4, likely to be upgraded to zone 5. So the reasons for the building of the new parliament, while it has been politicized, being called a vanity project, every aspect of this has been repeatedly, subject to much political debate. Are we doing a disservice for what was really a requirement at that point of time? That's a valid question, is it not? Would you agree? Dr. Sen.
I am not going to harp on the same string by saying that yes, it's not only the leakage in the parliament, the same leakage we have found in Ram Mandir, which was in an incomplete form, and our learned Prime Minister, who happens to be called as a publicity master, he installed Ram Lala in the hub, incompletely built up Ram temple. And I am not going to harp on the same string by saying that the paper leakage need 24 scam. But what I would like to mention is, first of all, it is a big question whether there was really a need to build up this new parliament and the entire project. spending nearly 20,000 crores of rupees. Number two,
No, Parliament was built for
I was very
970
much there
crores.
in the
Yeah.
Parliament when I have seen
970.
The new building was for 970 crores, sir.
the individual cost was 970, but the total cost was 20,000. Yes, I know. Second,
For entire central vista, which is a work in progress. Yeah.
Time I have seen and I was
Yeah.
surprised to see. I was surprised to see how hurriedly this entire new building was built up. And I would like to remind you on 13th of December 2023, there was a breach of security in this newly built up parliament when the outsiders jumped into the well from the gallery. Something dangerous could have happened on the same day. I would like to remind you when it was inaugurated, the barcode security system and the biometric system was not even activated at that point of time. The problem is Modi ji is always in a mood to satisfy his own ego, and he hardly cares about the cooperative federalism. That's why he never discusses these issues with any other states, especially the opposition ruled states. On the contrary, he uses to do vindictive politics by holding the money of a state like Bengal, which they cannot win over politically.
Sir, the parliament leak is
the main
because
issue.
there is no cooperative
That is
federalism.
the leakage of
Dr.
water
Shantanu
in the
Sen,
parliament.
Dr. Shantanu Sen, are you really saying the parliament leak today is because there is no cooperative federalism? Have I heard you correctly?
While building up the new parliament, whether it was really the need of the hour or not, Prime Minister should have a discussion. He should have had a discussion with all the political parties.
Okay.
But he hardly cares.
Let me bring in
He's
Pattabhiram
always
Komareddy on that note. Pattabhiram Komareddy,
He's
other
so-
political parties were not constructed when the new parliament building was being built. That's the contention coming in from the TMC spokesperson. How would you like to respond to it?
Madhav, good evening. As far as the new parliament building is concerned, it was required because the building was opened in 1927 and it's almost 100 years. So there was a requirement for a new parliament building and it was delivered by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And today, just because a few rain or water fall from the glass dome, they are making such a big. I would like to remind of one incident where our heads as Indians hung out in shame. I again go back to the games where the president of the Commonwealth Games, Sir Michel Fennell, just before, a week before the opening ceremony, he writes strong letter to the cabinet secretary issue on the condition of the Games village. He says that the athletics Games village is seriously compromised, and he was shocked by the kind of accommodation that was provided and the manner in which the buildings were constructed. He also said that in the type of accommodation, the athletes cannot stay because they require the best environment to prepare the competition. And 4 countries, New Zealand, Canada and Ireland, have refused to send their athletes to that Games village. And now these people, they talk about quality of construction. You have damaged country's reputation in front of 50 other countries, in front of international media. Our heads are hung out in shame, and today you come out and speak about quality of buildings. Shame on this opposition, shame on Congress. Do you think people forget about the past?
Okay.
So people know the history, Madhav. People know who had delivered what.
Okay.
And today we are all that Narendra Modi ji, the Honorable Prime Minister, had built a new beautiful temple of democracy, which is most required, as the old one, which was built by the British, is already old.
Okay. Tehseen, once again back to CWG. Would you like to respond to that?
Look, CWG, every allegation made by the Bharatiya Janata Party, tell me one prosecution that is done. Every single case that they've been in government.
We're not discussing prosecution, we're saying flooding.
The
flooding is something that is well known. Sheila Dikshit herself was there helping getting ready those floods. So that's what he's talking about. Please address his question.
He said so they've done nothing. So first there was nothing. Now let's come to the issue of flooding out there. Since then, the infrastructure had improved of Delhi. It improved a lot. There was flooding in the village. It was removed and the infrastructure improved. Today I'm coming to your show from Gurugram, almost 14 years later. And I'm coming from Gurugram because 3 people lost their lives in Gurugram yesterday being electrocuted in the floods in Gurugram. I am saying the Congress was bad. Your only defense today is, yes, Parliament will leak, tunnels will fall down, airports will collapse, because, hey, the Congress did something bad in 2010, Rajiv Gandhi did something bad in 1990, Indira did something bad in 80, and Nehru did something bad. What have you done in 11 years? Talk about that. 3 people lost their life yesterday in Gurugram. One of them is my friend's cousin, and I'm coming from there. You have no shame but to blame everyone in the past. Then why the hell are you in power? Leave power and go. That is the problem. People are losing their life. In Delhi, just 1 second, the flooding happened. Who's arrested? The person who was driving an SUV. What do you do to the SUV? Put it on your head and walk in the water? Is this the Delhi police under Amit Shah? Is this the seriousness with which they govern?
Okay.
Is this the seriousness? Anything happens, Rajiv Gandhi did this, Indira ji did this, Nehru ji did that. Bhaiya, 11 saal se aap power mein, aap kya kiya uska bolo na?
Okay.
Nehru ji, Rahul ji, Indira ji.
We got your question. Tuhin. Whataboutery is, not really the argument. These are people's problems, and therefore his question is that 2 wrongs don't make a right. 1 second. Okay, calm down. I can understand. I want Tuhin to respond to that very calmly, because Tuhin, at the end of the day, let's come back to the Parliament building. You have a situation where this is a Parliament building that was built as per the Central Vista website, which says that because of a seismic zone change, can we have a quake-proof building if it's not even rain-proof?
Madhav, in the initial stages, there are some glitches. I can assure you that it is not only climate resilient, it is fully security proof. On your show today, I believe TMC, the representative is a member of parliament. For him to ask where was the need for this building, I am, surprised. Is he ignorant of the fact that in 2026 delimitation is due, after which the total number of seats in Lok Sabha would go up by a good 40%. There would be a proportionate increase in Rajya Sabha, and the old building was just not in a position to accommodate it. This is intellectual dishonesty when the TMC spokesperson says, or the TMC representative says that there was no need for it. As a member of parliament, you are spreading ignorance in the country.
Okay, so these are Mr. Shantanu Sen would like to respond to that very quickly. Yeah.
My question, what are the political parties, who are those political parties who were consulted before taking this important decision? Just answer my question. Did our learned Prime Minister discuss with a single opposition political party before taking such decision? Did he spend the entire money from his own pocket? He has spent the money from the pocket of the common people, and the opposition political parties also represent the common people. So they should have been discussed by our learned Prime Minister. Did he do that? Did he honor the basic essence of cooperative federalism, which is the basic right of common people, which is the basic essence of Indian Constitution? Did he honor that?
Respond to him.
Madhav, can I respond, please?
Yeah, please.
Madhav, once an in-principle decision has been taken for creating a particular structure, in terms of design, it is the prerogative of the government. Okay. Will they consult us tomorrow if they decide to redesign the writers' building in Kolkata? Will they consult all parties? It's the prerogative of this government. And if you don't trust the government, till 10 minutes back, the TMC spokesperson's issue was it was not required. Now the whole issue is that, we were not consulted. Please stop changing the goalposts. Fact is, it's one of the most magnificent buildings in the country and across the globe. If a minor leakage has taken place today, rest assured it won't happen again.
Right.
But in the initial stages, it is not extraordinary for a minor glitch to happen. While I condemn that, that should not have taken place.
All right. Tuhin Sinha, Pattabhiram Komareddy, Faizan Kedwai, Dr. Shantanu Sen, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening. Certainly, we haven't heard the last word yet on it. And of course, all eyes on Parliament tomorrow, where, of course, the political battles that are fought on the floor of the House are only expected to continue. Thanks so much for joining us on debate number 1.